I think it's just two now. Hey, Alicia, how are ya?
I came out like that.
Our apologies for yesterday.
I kind of said that. I didn't know that you were saying that yesterday or today.
Alicia was so excited she wanted to have the call yesterday. I love that energy.
Right. That was my first time calling you.
Mhm.
And Deb, I thought of two more ideas, maybe if you want to add them on to our list.
Let's hear them, Allie. Sure.
Okay, well, one of them, I thought maybe we can just do like a dance competition in general, and then you can like send prizes out for the best dancer.
I like that. So we can even do that in the Zoom room one of these times.
Yeah, and the other idea I had is because we're all trying to stay safe and healthy. I was thinking maybe talking about information like how to stay safe and healthy, maybe like do like emergency meetings or something, like how to save somebody in case there's like a real emergency.
That, you know what? I love that idea, Allie. I
Good.
think it's great. Alex, could you jot those ideas down for us? Those are great. I love that idea of
Because then just in case like somebody gets hurt or not feeling good, that global messengers can help somebody out.
absolutely. I think that's fantastic. That's a really important leadership skill and knowledge.
Yeah,
So I love that idea. Thanks for sharing that.
because one winter games you're welcome. Winter games last year, I had to help my teammate Michaela on with the dance floor because she kind of passed out a little bit during winter games, and I had to help her up and bring her to Scott to help her revive her a little bit.
Just you were there to help. That's awesome.
I have an idea.
So I have
the medical field.
I know some people can help out, but I think the coaches can do that because coaches is more important than people.
well, maybe
A little bit of both.
yeah, a little bit of both, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing at a time. We can't do
Caitlin
two
has
things at
joined
once.
us. She is with us.
Hi everyone. Sorry I'm late.
Caitlin.
Hi everyone. I think my computer has a gremlin in it. You know when it just has a mind of its own?
I know how that is.
Yeah. So I figured you would forgive me. So I'm on my phone. Is it an okay way, everyone? Is it okay?
It's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
This is so fun. There's so many people here. Whoa. Cool.
I see you on TV all the time.
Me too.
Oh, you guys are the best. Wait, this is awesome. There's so many people.
I like some of your coworkers a little bit too.
Oh, yeah, they're the best. It's nice when you work. I think if we're going to talk about leadership today, isn't it the best when you work with good people? It like helps. So,
Yeah.
oh, this is so fun. Do you need me to just kick things off or I can just chat?
Yeah. Hey, Caitlin, go for it. We'd love to hear from you. And then, share what you have to share, and then maybe we can open it up for questions afterwards.
Okay, awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for having me. Again, I apologize for my gremlin and my computer, but we have the phone working, so technology. It's just such an honor to talk to everyone today. And quite honestly, I'm speechless to talk to all of you. And I'm starstruck because with all the work you guys do every day to help the community and help other people. I just joined into the call and I can already hear some of you talking about helping others. And it's just like, how cool is that? And that's why I love living in Connecticut. So I'll get there though. I'll get there eventually. I'll introduce myself in a second. But I just wanted to thank all of you for being here and making such a big impact on so many lives every day. You're spreading awareness. You're growing the following of Special Olympics. You're letting people know about it who might not have known about it without all of you, which is so cool. And your spokespeople, your spokespersons, or I don't know if that's the right plural of that word, whatever. It's a Wednesday, but you guys are doing so much to empower others and help this organization, which is an awesome organization, but you're carrying it forward. So huge high five to you all. And I'm so honored you invited me to be here. So thank you. Oh, my heavens. You're just nice. Oh, thank you. No. But it already proves because you joined. Okay, so right now is a really, you all know, I mean, life is so weird right now. I'm not in person. I'm For all you know, I might get my pajama bottoms, right? Right? Like, this is a weird time, and you made the time to be on this call despite the hardships maybe in your life or your neighbors or your loved ones or your family. So you're already an awesome leader for taking the time out of your day to be here. Okay, so my name again is Caitlin Burchill, and I just turned 30 years old. So
You're younger than me.
Really?
I'm 40.
30 years old. And I bring that up because people are like, oh, age, but I really like the idea that I'm starting a new chapter. And I think so many of us are learning a new life lesson right now about maybe, those hugs you used to give, maybe we'll hug a little tighter in the future. So in my next chapter, I always try to think of life as a book. And we have all these different chapters, and there's some really hard parts, but those hard parts can help you become a better person and help you become a better leader. And I've had some chapters throughout my life, and even in my, as a kid, and, maybe playing sports is a part of your chapter, Special Olympics chapter. So I use that to try to help me become a leader. And every single day I'm like, all right, you made it through a harder chapter in the past. Maybe you were training for a sport you love. So maybe there's good moments too that can help you lead. But I really hope by the time we end this conversation together, that maybe you'll take all those troubles and the times are, this isn't the best time right now, right? But we'll take all these times and it can help inspire our leadership every day. And that's what I'm trying to do right now. And I'm so glad I needed inspiration from you guys. So I can't wait to field some questions later. But first, I'll keep chatting. So I'm a reporter for NBC Connecticut, and I love it. I love it. Some of you said you watch it. I just so love it. Feels like a family, and especially right now when I haven't seen my coworkers, but we'll do this a lot. We'll check in, or I've been working with one photographer every day. She's my partner in crime, I call her. And but yeah, NBC Connecticut is so great. I was born in neighboring Massachusetts. Huge Boston sports fan, huge, as you can imagine. So I'm a big Patriots fan. I know I'm gonna get some heat from someone in here. But like all of you,
right here.
oh, someone, did I hear someone is or isn't? Uh-oh, I'm scared. Okay.
Let's ask Bruins, Celtics, Patriots, and UConn.
Okay. See? Okay, good. Usually I lived in Maine, which was mostly Boston sports fans. Then I moved to Utah so this was all for reporting. I moved to Utah, and I was alone. There was no Boston sports fans there, but it was cool to move around for me for my job, to be in different environments and different, be in a different state where people didn't like Boston sports, for example. So, I think my point of this story is that just remember those moments in your life, or use those hard things, like being in a state where no one likes the Red Sox or no one likes the Patriots. Man, but we won the Super Bowls while I was there. So that made it easier. But, make that to impact you and your future and how you help other people. And that's why I love doing my job. I love what I do as a reporter, because every day I get to witness a little bit of history, and I get to write that first draft of history. And then I get to meet people like you every single day, and I might meet people who aren't in their happiest, or might be having a really bad day. Maybe something happened to their house or their car. And I just say, you know what, if I can make them smile or help them, that's kind of my goal. And you guys have that opportunity, which is so cool. That's what you're doing every single day, being a global messenger or a mentor. So it's super cool. And I'm not a fan of the question. I hate when people say, well, what do you want to do when you grow up? I'm sure many of you, right? And I still don't, I don't know. I'm 30. I don't know. We're young. We're like, I don't know. Even at 80, I hope I still don't know. I think I didn't know that I wanted to be a reporter growing up, and I love what I'm doing, and I'm living my dream. But, that can change, and things can change. As a kid, though, I will say, I wanted to be a famous singer. Did anyone else? Famous singer? But my voice is horrible. Like, I have the worst voice ever for singing. Woo! I could break a window. It's bad. But you just got to keep on dreaming and finding maybe new dreams. When I learned my voice wasn't that great. And then next in life, I wanted to play volleyball. Does anyone play any, we all volleyball? Anyone like that? Anyone?
I did track and field and bowling.
See, I was going to say bowling is a big one. I know I did bowling league as a kid, not very good at it. So I could use some tips, but I loved volleyball. So I wanted to play that in college and I did that. And that adrenaline, right? Like when you get a spare or a strike, right? Is there anything better than that feeling? So I followed that dream. And then my next one was doing what I did now, and telling stories and, trying to make a part of, try to kind of help form history and inform people at home and let people know what's going on. Maybe they need to avoid a certain highway or go somewhere or do this or do that. And I learned that I wanted to be a news reporter when I was doing something I didn't like. So in school, I had to take a science course, and I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm not very good at science.
What do you do on NBC?
I'm a reporter. That's a great question for whoever asked. So I'm a reporter.
That's me, Alicia Skowski.
That was a really good question because I didn't go into that. So I'm a reporter. So that means I don't have a microphone, but let's say this was a microphone, my water bottle. So I'm the person who's in front of the camera, kind of like this, and I will present. So today, what was today's story? Oh, today, okay, this is a good question. So today there was camping could restart again in Connecticut. You know how they've been opening up certain phases of businesses slowly, safely. Yeah, so that today I did that story. So I presented what we knew, the facts we knew, and then I spoke to some locals who wanted to camp or who were concerned about camping, and I put it together and we put it on television for, I've been up since 2 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Actually, that's a little bit of a lie. I slept through my alarm today. That was bad. Don't tell my boss knew. I slept through my alarm today. It never happened.
Oh, no.
But when you're waking up at 2 a.m., eventually you're gonna, so I got up a little late today. But yeah, so that was my job. So reporting is when you go to somewhere or you go to, maybe it's I don't know, I'm trying to think of it. Maybe it's go to a Special Olympics event. Maybe you're having, the track and field competition and you get to go there and talk to people and kind of tell the story of how the day went. And maybe, find some of the really cool, some of the different storylines or maybe there's someone there who's ran that track and field event for the first time. And maybe there's someone there who's done it 26 times. So you kind of just find out, you find those little stories and you tell them to the state of Connecticut, whoever has NBC at home and who tunes in or who watches on our website as well. So that's what I do as a reporter. And I get to meet people. I get to kind of see what's happening in history. So what's happening now that we'll look back and remember, and also to hold people accountable. So let's say, during, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a good example, but let's say a town gets a lot of money for something. Well, or we all pay our taxes, right? To make sure that money is getting used in a way that it should be getting used, right? So it kind of feels a little like, I get to be like the mom over everything sometimes, and I get to check on everything. So I like that.
I do swimming and bowling. Like right now, we have COVID-19. So we cannot see anybody yet.
No, exactly right. Because right now times are so different, and even from a reporting, right now I'd probably be in a room with all of you guys back in the day, right? I would guess, or we'd do something like that, but. Yeah, so even now reporting, it's like, okay, I see Chelsea, I see John, I see a bunch of people in this group. Let's see, Kimberly, Jennifer, Megan. I can keep going and naming all of them. But you guys can't really do what you want to do. So I have to be safe. I have a note from the governor, actually, the governor and emergency officials that said, if we all had to be in our houses, I would be allowed to be out and about. So I could let you know what's happening so you can keep updated for your friends, your family, your loved ones. So yeah, so that's kind of what I do. And it's, yes. Oh, did someone have a good question already?
I work in the hospital.
Oh yeah. Who is that? Who is that? I'm trying to zip through.
John,
you do? Oh
yeah.
My gosh. Well, thank you so much, John, because you're one of those people right now that's out and about, and I'm sure
a superhero. Yeah.
You're legit. I want to give John. Let's give John a high five. John, that is so awesome. Thank you so much. I wish we could do like 100 billion stories a day on the hospital workers.
Well,
You guys have been so cool.
The thing is, I get up at 2 a.m., but I get up at 3:30, so it's...
Okay. So you know what it's like. So you're like this right now. Are you like this? You're like, keep them open. Yeah.
Thanks to my coffee.
I actually don't like coffee, but that's a whole nother story, John. Well, John, you're so sweet. I'm glad. Thank you for doing what you do. And just, again, you're taking the time today to be here when so many of you have so many things going on, trying to, stay awake.
Yeah.
My
I have a bunch
brother's
of questions that, I was going to go through, but I feel like some of you have some for me already. So we could just start chatting. But I think actually, John, let me start with something you made me think of, because something that I was asked to talk about today is what makes a good story. And something that maybe you guys will have to think about, being messengers and mentors, and how to like get people excited. And I think for me, it's all about what makes, like, we're all the same. We're all humans, so what is a good story, because what you're interested in, what makes you happy, what has heart, and maybe and something that impacts us all. So I think that's, if you're going forward and you're like, how can I inspire my team, or how can I inspire people to want to, whatever your goal may be with Special Olympics, kind of just think, well, what would kind of pique my interest? And sometimes it has to be, because this is a crazy world with social media, visuals have to be really big too. So sometimes you might say, maybe if I have a picture of this, or if I could show a video to get people pumped. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking out loud, but your hospital, you telling me that was awesome, because it's like, okay, that's like, it hits home right now. So things like that, connecting with your group.
And I wake up and I have a good attitude and I bring it to work and everybody's happy.
And John, if everyone could be like you in this world, wouldn't it be more fun and it would be more happy? So I so appreciate that. And I think, and I actually I don't know if any of you saw it, but on social media today, I figured on my Twitter page and on Facebook, I said, hey, I'm talking to these incredible messengers and these global messengers and these mentors. And I said, hey, what's some advice that you have? Like, what would you wish that someone told you before you led a team? And I got 2 interesting comments. Someone said, make sure you be an individual. And I thought that was a really cool piece of advice, because maybe some of you watched the Michael Jordan documentary that came out during, a couple months ago, or maybe there's a sports star or an actor or movie star you really like. And sure, they may be a good leader, but I'm not Michael Jordan. No way. And even if I tried to be Michael Jordan, that's not me. He's very kind of like, I don't know if he'd be talking with his hands as much, and he'd be right. Like, that's just, be who you are, So I thought that was a really good leadership advice, is be you. John, you brought up, you have a great enthusiasm. So that's, don't take that away. Like, Michael Jordan's not quite as enthusiastic as you, truly. He's pretty serious, and he wouldn't want to joke around about basketball.
Well, the thing is, he might want to talk with his hands, because the thing is, he's a basketball player. So,
That's true. Yeah, that's true. But I just think he'd be serious, and I can already tell you have this vivacious energy. And so just be yourself on top of it. So I thought that was really cool. And someone said this was a great piece of advice, and I agree. Whether as a news reporter now, or when I was a captain of my volleyball team in college, my biggest, one of the things that I thought was great is don't be afraid to ask for help. Isn't that great? Because even if you have the title of a global messenger or a mentor, and you're supposed to, you have an added responsibility. Well, doesn't mean you know everything. I don't know everything. I don't even know what I want to do when I get older. Right? So,
do you know Ryan Hanahan? Can I ask?
Did someone just say Ryan Hanahan?
Yes.
Oh my God, I saw him in person.
One of my favorites.
Alicia Skowski. I want to know if you know Ryan Hanahan.
Ryan and I go way back. We're good friends.
No way. Okay, I can tell him. He's gonna be so glad to hear. I think he might be on vacation this week. I don't know. He works at nights and I've been doing the morning. So I haven't, and obviously I haven't seen him in person. So I have to, you have, that you said hello. So that's so cool.
Please,
There's so many-
do.
Yeah, because
Tell me
that's
on
my
that.
that's my brother-in-law's friend.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's Johnson Hope, and I am his sister-in-law,
Okay.
Alicia.
Okay. And I think this will be recorded too. So.
Alicia.
Okay, Alicia. Okay, I'll tell him. I think this is recorded too, maybe. So he'll even have proof that you're giving him a shout out. He's gonna be pretty happy.
I saw him like
Me
one
too.
time, like last year, at the Special Olympics.
Oh, okay.
You know what I
That's
mean?
what I was gonna ask. Have any of you done an interview with? Has anyone been on TV for an interview before? And if not,
I
no
know.
worries.
was on TV.
No.
Couple times.
Well, I went to NBC Connecticut for Special Olympics, and I was on the slideshow with him.
Okay, I see. That's Kimberly, right? Hello,
Yeah.
Kimberly. Hello.
Hi.
So some of you might have been interviewed. Does anyone want any tips if you get to be interviewed one day?
I would.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
I've
all
actually
right.
been before.
I'm telling you, it's not. So usually it depends, but you can ask, let's say a reporter says, hey, you have good energy, Chelsea or John or Kimberly, or you have good energy. So I want to interview you, or, whatever it may be. Maybe you stood out at your leadership skills stood out. So they would come up to you. Let's pretend this is my microphone, and I wouldn't stick it in your face at first, but I'd say, hi, I'm Caitlin Burchill with NBC Connecticut. Can I interview you? And then you'd go, some people are like, no. And so today I had a lot of no's, but I go, you'd be perfect. I was like, you'll be a TV star. So who knows what the reporter will do to get you to talk you into it. But if you're like, yeah, that would be great. But you could ask, is it live? So if it's live, that means it's like this, where there's no delete button. You're live on TV, right? Like it'll go right onto, Facebook Live or Instagram Live. So you could ask that. So you just know. Usually, if I was going to a Special Olympics event, it wouldn't. I don't think it would be live. I guess I've done both. Maybe some live in when I was in Maine, but so it might have always been taped. So I was at a bowling event, for example, in Utah, and I bowled. I would bowl with a few friends that I met there, and then I interviewed somebody, and it wasn't live. So that means, let's say you mess up, you can just be like, can I start that over again? And that's totally fine. None of us are perfect, and honestly, sometimes you get your thoughts better the second time. So usually, what happens? Let's say I'm going to interview you right now. I would say I'll hold my microphone, or maybe they'll put a microphone on you. These days, though, usually you might have your mask on still, which is great. And we have like an extended microphone. This is my TV clicker. Can you tell I'm from Boston? But usually now it's like a very long microphone. You might have seen it on TV. And I would just
I think I saw that before.
Yeah, it's really long, which is nice because it keeps you distant. And usually what happens is I usually just start, hey, I know your name because we just met, but can you just say it? So, because I want to hear you say your name. And you're, Kimberly just spelled out Alicia. So same kind of thing. Can you say your name and spell it? So I'm spelling it right and I say it right on TV, because that would stink if I said your name wrong. And then you do that. And then what they'll probably ask you is if you played a game of Clue or something like that. Who, what, what, where, when, how. Right? So, I mean, so they might say to you, I would say, let's say I'm going to ask about a bowling event, because I've literally done this. It was for Special Olympics. And I said, who are you? What's your name? Can you just, so I have it right, and we'll be recording this so I can go back later and listen and write the story. And then I'll say, obviously I can tell that there's bowling going on and I have some idea of what's going on, but I'll say, hey, Kimberly, or hey, can you just explain why you're at this bowling alley today? So you could just say, we're here to bowl because we only do this, whatever you kind of wanted today. And then I'll keep saying, so who, what, where, well, why did you pick this location? And it's in, I don't know, it's in Hartford, and it's a good location for people from all around the state. I don't know, I'm making things up, and then kind of, you know, how or why are you doing this? You know, why did you come down here? Oh, well, we love to bowl. Like, you know, whatever your answers may be. But it's kind of, I would ask you who, what, where, when, how. And then usually towards the end of an interview, maybe they'll say, all right, you know, you gave me all the basics. Now I understand this. But like, what is so cool? Or like, why is it so great to see all of these people here bowling for the special, you know, with the Special Olympics, right? And then that's kind of where you could give that's where you really just want to be you. Like, I mean, how cool, like whatever your answer may be, you know, I love this organization, or, you know, that's where you kind of get to say what you want. So that's where it's fun to be interviewed, I guess. And that's kind of like you asking me all the questions now. Ha ha ha, this is great. So, and I just don't worry about memorizing anything if you get interviewed. No need to memorize. It's purely just, you know, if you don't understand the question, ask for them to say it again. If you want to ask if you can restart it. And if they didn't ask you something, maybe some of the best interviews I do are at the end, I'll say, hey, is there anything I didn't ask you that I should have asked you? And usually they're like, well, no, wait a second. And then they'll blah, 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 blah. And it's always the coolest part, you know, whether it be, I don't know. It's always something. Oh, today I interviewed a guy who I met at a campground in Connecticut. He was hiking with his cute doggy, which who doesn't want to interview a man with a doggy? It was very cute. So we talked to him, and he said, you know, he's talking about how he remembers camping here as a kid. He hopes to camp now that camping's open again. And then at the end, I said something like, oh, well, I forget what I said, but at the end of the interview, all of a sudden it came up that he, by chance, is actually from Florida, but he moved here a couple of months ago, and he's just with his sister who lives up here. He grew up here. And he's like from Florida, which right now is having like the hardest time in our country with coronavirus, right? So he was just like, I'm so glad I'm in Connecticut, and I love Connecticut, and I feel safe here, and it's so nice to have the outdoors. And it was like, that is such a fast, like, what are the chances? I met a Floridian today in like Waterbury. I don't know. It was random today. So, that's kind of the process of going through an interview. Does anyone have any questions? Or because some of you might do your own interviews too, or throw out the questions. I love questions.
I got a question to ask.
Okay, who's this? Let me see.
Allie Smith.
Hi, Allie.
Hi. My question is, have you ever gone to like my town of Shelton to interview like some of the people from Shelton before?
I want to say yes, and I just can't remember. It's nothing to do against Shelton, but I've definitely been there. That's the cool part. Every day for me is different, and I could be in like 4 different towns or cities, or 5 in the same day. I can't remember why I was in Shelton, which might be a good thing. Because sometimes, why was I Shelton? What was I doing? I can't remember, but
right.
All I know is there's some towns I can't. You know what town I cannot pronounce, everyone?
What's that?
I need to get the Connecticut in me. It makes me so nervous. Berlin.
Can you spell it again?
All right. Berlin.
Berlin.
I can never have the accent right. Who's that? Alex. Thank you. Oh, Alex, I get so stressed. And my name is Burchill. It shouldn't be that hard for me, but I'm like, ugh. So even when you're on TV professionally, sometimes you're like, I think the other day I said live in and I went Berlin. I just wish I could pronounce it right. Back to you. So.
And another question I was going to ask you, weren't you and I supposed to do an event at one point? I don't recall you and I doing something together.
I don't know. I don't know who asked that, but I think there was something I was supposed to talk at. I forget.
Caitlin was at our athlete leadership training day, our spring one that we had scheduled, that we had to as of
yeah, that's when I can make it.
So hopefully one of those when we all get to life gets back to normal, I would love to meet some of you at an event. So that would be really cool.
I'm from the MSA.
It looks like Dan has a question. Dan?
Hey, Caitlin, this is Daniel Whiting.
Hi, Dan.
When you're saying being in interview, I've done that before. I have.
No way.
Me too.
Yeah, so have I.
Daniel,
I have a question.
what do you think about the advice I kind of gave? Do you have any other advice, or you think you just have to be kind of natural and take a deep breath, or any other thoughts?
Well, when you sit down and you speak clearly,
Oh,
and
great one.
you have to be with people.
That's a really good one. The clearly is a good one too. That's awesome. I bet you were a perfect interview. I can already tell.
And I want to tell you, I'm a supermarket worker.
Oh, you're
I'm a
another
social
superhero right now.
You do that on TikTok is now.
I'm a social worker.
You are another superhero right now. We're so thankful for I say superheroes are, your hospital workers, your
Supermarket worker.
Yeah, supermarket workers are like, thank you so much. In what town are you a supermarket worker in?
Avon, Connecticut, store 53.
All right, I'll have to keep an eye out for you. Thank you so much. You're
I have a
awesome.
question.
Yes, I hear somebody.
Why?
Oh, the big Y, Danielle? Okay.
Yes.
I have a question.
That might be one of my stores I go to. I'm going to look out for you.
Is that
Thank
right?
you.
Who's asking a question? Who's next? This is so fun.
Rashawn from West Hartford.
Somebody in West Hartford. Oh, hi, Ryan.
Hi.
I think Rayshawn had a question and then
Yeah.
Ryan next.
How long you been working at NBC?
Oh, that's a great question. Almost a little over a year. So time flies when you're having fun. Yeah, a little over a year, and it's close to my family, and I love Connecticut. It's so cool that.
Because
live in
I'm
a
not that
state
far from
that-
NBC.
What did you say?
I'm not that far from NBC. I live in West Hartford myself.
Okay, well, can you do me a favor? Will you wave at the station when you drive by? Because I haven't been inside in March, April, May.
I live in West Hartford myself. I'm not that far from NBC.
Okay, so wave when you drive by, because I haven't been inside that news station in 5 months because of all of this crazy.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful there.
It is. When I came on my interview for my job, I had to pinch myself. I was like, it's so cool. And I think there was a big sign, I don't know if there is, that says thank you to all of our, first responders and essential workers. So like Daniel, our supermarket worker. So thank you guys. Yeah, wave at the station,
you.
please.
I think Ryan had a question next. Go ahead, Ryan.
Hey, Kaylin. How's
Hi,
it going?
Ryan.
I'm doing good.
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. My question to you is a two-part question. One, I'm going to do an interview with NBC if you understand what I'm getting at.
Are you trying to get an interview?
I want an interview because I have never done one.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I think I think we take a note, and next time we're at an event, I'm going to be like, all right. So I'm going to try my best. That's one of the hard things. It's like, and going, well, it's great when you find people that want to be interviewed, but sometimes you have a whole room of people and you're like, oh no, this is only going to be quick on television. So, okay, but I'm going to keep this in mind. And what's part 2?
Yeah, and number 2, actually it's 3, because number 2, I did a thing with the Journal Inquirer. I was in on August 3rd of last Greenway.
No, oh, so you already have experience, I can tell.
Yes, I have.
So, all right.
I did it with my speech coach right here.
Hi. Oh, you looks like the best coach you could have. That's awesome.
Yes.
How lucky are
Agree.
you?
Yeah.
And was there a part 3 to that?
Yeah, part 3 is it's her question. I want to put it out there. She wants a whole panel of global messengers to do interviews with NBC.
Oh. To get you all interviewed? I think so. Is that what you're asking?
I think for everybody, she's trying to say.
I think you guys you're all TV stars. There's no question about that. And this is good practice too, because wait, you could be a reporter, Ryan, right? You could be a reporter. You just asked me 3 questions. You put me in the hot seat.
He already
put
has
me in the hot
confidence.
I'm
Hey,
asking,
Actually,
Caitlin, I got another question to ask you. Do you do interviews at nursing homes or anything? Because I work at a nursing home.
Oh, you do? That's an amazing job. You guys are so, look at all of you. I mean, look at, you're taking the time to be on this call today, and you have so much else in your life. It just depends on the story. You know, right now we're doing, I kind of cover the news of the day. So today was being at a camp, but sometimes there might be a nursing home story. So keep your ideas coming my way. And I know you'll be good about letting me know when Special Olympics has events coming up, because we need to interview a bunch of you. I can tell. I can tell that you're thirsty to be interviewed.
Because I work
have
at
been- I have been
Benchmark
interviewed
facility.
Sorry.
I have been interviewed before for a FOSS 61 twice.
Oh, the competitor.
And I was on the FOSS 61 news as well, because I did a segment, and it actually went really well. It was for Special Olympics basketball.
Oh,
And-
very cool.
Yeah, and
Kimberly, any advice, like I asked Daniel, any advice that you have, or any advice you have for the mentors and messengers on here about an interview that maybe I didn't get to, or a question you would have about maybe for next time?
well, basically, if like doing like the interview, you kind of want to know what you want to say, but
Yeah.
take your time, slow down, and just try to like speak clearly so people can understand you really well. And also, I've been interviewed for 2014 National Games in
You know
Princeton,
what?
New Jersey.
Your resume is right. I'm so kidding me to come talk to you. This is an awesome crew. This
I
is
did
so great. Kimberly,
bowling.
that's great advice.
I do bowling, and
Uh-huh.
I do swimming as a global administrator also.
I'm tired for all of you. Whew.
I do
Now
track
we're
and field, bowling, and
We're
figure
now at
skating.
quarantine now. We cannot start yet.
Yeah. Well, you know what? And I actually talked to my high school just like this, and it was seniors in high school graduating, and I said, everyone's cooped up. You're all at home. And it's kind of, it gets really boring. Like, we can be honest, right? It does. But you know what you can do is what I tried to say to them, and I said, take down some notes, or you remember this energy you have now. You're itchy, right? You're itchy to make change and do and help the community. So when this is all over with, you can use the energy to kind of do something and help someone else, or I don't know. You can start taking notes of, like, I was like, oh, one of the things is I want to start helping the community more because I've seen so many amazing people. So this worked out. I got to talk to you guys today, but I'm going Friday, depending on the weather. I'm going to try to help build a house in Hartford for somebody. I was like, I just want to get out and help, so maybe use this bored energy to fuel you for the future is kind of my thought.
Great idea. Well, I just want to hop in. We've got about 5 more minutes, and then we need to wrap up.
Time flies.
For somebody else. So anybody have any last questions? Or Caitlin, is there anything else that you might want to share? Or
I do.
Look at my notes.
I do.
Ryan, number 4. Lucky number 4.
Yeah. I'm ready for this. You're going to love this one because this one is on point. I did Facebook on Special Olympics. I did it through the Dream Ride and all of that stuff. I'm on it for 24/7.
Wow, that's incredible. That's like a job in itself, all that social media, isn't it?
Yes, and I'm also a Dream Ride ambassador for Special Olympics with the other global messengers.
Wow, I'm literally like this. I'm like, I'm gonna fall asleep thinking of all the work you guys are doing. And social media is a lot. I won't fall asleep yet. I won't. I promise. But that's amazing. And social media is so, isn't it? It's kind of changing this whole interview world because you can check your phone and there's your update. Or so even for me, my job is changing every day. For you guys as messengers and mentors, your job is changing every day. And social media can be a big part of that too. And I use it a lot for work, and I kind of like it too because I can show on TV. I'm more like, you know, hello, this is what's happening today in the news. But then on my Instagram or whatever, I try to be like, this is who Caitlin is with her crazy flailing of her hands and that kind of thing.
So I have something to say to you, Caitlin.
Yes, Megan?
You and Ned are my favorites so far.
Oh, you're so nice. You don't have to lie to me, but that was very sweet. You
It's
made my
you
day.
and Ned and Mark.
Oh, that's a big praise. Me and the governor, the governor.
So I was thinking,
Megan, I'm telling
Yeah.
you, next time I see him, I'm gonna say, someone likes me just as much as they like you. I'm gonna tell them. So that'll be
I was
fun.
thinking for the future, Caitlin, if you and Ned can come for a Special Olympics event for the future.
How awesome would that? Okay, well, the next time we can all be somewhere in person, I better be the first. I want to be there, so let me know.
Okay.
So, Megan, thank you. You all made my day right now, and it's a gross, muggy, rainy day, and this
It's
has
raining
been
right
like
now.
Yeah.
it's
Okay,
a gross,
and I-
perfect day to
Wonderful.
chat with friends, though.
And
Any other
Caitlin, I
questions?
do 3 events.
Yes. Ooh,
I do track and field, bowling, and figure skating.
that is incredible. That's amazing. I mean, like seriously, that is
And
amazing.
Allison is my
Doing
partner.
figure skating once.
That is so, I'm so impressed. Those are I mean, I think to be a part of a sport is, I played sports too, right? But to be part of it, it's hard because you have to risk, you know, making a mistake and you right? Like you put yourself out there. So,
Right.
so you guys have done the fact that you do that and you love it. And now you're helping to continue, you know, to make sure more people know about it. That's really cool. Ryan, is that number 5? Is that a wave that you
I
have?
think so.
All right, the last question, because we have to hop off in 2 minutes. Go ahead, Ryan.
Time
Yeah.
flies. This was too fun.
I
Okay,
just want
Ryan.
to ask.
Yeah.
I just want to ask if I can meet Nevermont.
All right. You know what? The best is this has been recorded, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna when I get the link to this. I can't promise. I can't promise anything, but I'm gonna tweet at him and say, "Hey, Gov. I guess we have a fan who likes us both, and Ryan wants to meet you."
I
Yes.
want to meet him too.
Yes.
I
Yes.
can't promise
Autograph.
anything. I
She's
can't
not the
promise
only one.
anything, but I think that's going to be pretty cool. And I'm really glad. This was so fun. And you guys are all obviously so talented and you have, you're going to be your leaders already. So I want to high five. We do
Thank
high
you.
fives, virtual high fives.
Yeah.
Let's give Caitlin a big round of applause for spending time with us today. How special was this? How
Yeah.
wonderful. We might have
Caitlin,
Baby, we love you.
Caitlin, I want to tell
I
you.
wish we could get some selfies with all of us. I don't know if I can get everyone in the same picture though. Can I do some
It
crazy
could be
things?
hard.
You get me?
It could be hard.
Or no?
I see. All right, let's go quick. Can I go down the line? Everyone make a fun face. I'm going to go down the line. All right. Who else do I have next? All right.
Me.
Kimberly, Megan, Jennifer. I don't know why I'm making noise, but this is so fun. John, I see you. All right, everyone. Hi.
Bye.
Oh, I didn't see that. Vincent's doing a fun one. They're gonna be like, Caitlin, it's all 800 pictures. Oh, I didn't get Dan, Chad, Ryan. You have to do this, Ryan, because you're the question of the year. All the questions, 5 rock star questions.
Yes.
Yes.
And Caitlin, I'm going to tell you, Allison is my bowling partner.
Who
Yeah,
said
but-
I missed? Wait, hold on. Let me see. It's easier when I flip to. There's too many. Okay, who just said that?
It's Megan.
Actually,
Is it
me and
me?
Allison are partners for Unified Bowling.
No way.
Yep.
And we do track together too.
Yep.
wrap it up. I'm hearing from our president. We need to wrap it up, but we'll try to bring Caitlin back since this was so
Okay.
much fun.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye. Stay
Thank
safe.
you.
Bye.
Loved having you.
Thanks.
Get me?
It's so fun.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.